What is Faravahar a symbol of?
The word Farvahar is made up of two parts. Fara, meaning forward or ahead, and Vahar, meaning pulling. So Farvahar literally means forward pulling force. In ancient Iranian culture, the concept of Farvahar was considered as the invaluable component of human existence because it is an attribute of Ahura Mazda's infinite entity. It is incorporated in human at birth to guide and lead toward perfection, and after death, it unites with its origin or Ahura Mazda as pure and perfect as it was. The emblem of Farvahar is a winged old sage symbolizing Mazdiasni thoughts. The symbol dates back to thousands of years ago. It is made up of the following 6 parts: head, hands, wings, central circle, feathered tail, 2 hanging curly threads. Head. The figure inside is that of an old man representing wisdom of old age that reminds us the Farvahar of the elderly can be a better guide, and that we should consult experienced and wise people. Hands. One of the hands points upwards, telling us that we should always be in only one direction of Ahura Mazda. The other hand holds a small ring, the ring of promise. This shows respect for promise. In today's world, we see it in the form of wedding rings signifying the promise between 2 humans. Wings. The wings are spread apart, signifying the ascent of the soul or upward progress of human. Each wing is in 3 major segments, representing good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. This suggests progress through the triple principle. Central circle. A circle is a line that has no beginning and no end. The central circle in the Farvahar symbolizes the cycle of life and the eternity of the universe. It tells us that results of man's actions return to him in this world, and in the other world, the soul of the righteous one will enjoy the reward, or joins the domain of song and enjoys peace of mind. On the other hand, the soul of the wicked one will face the punishment, or darkness and sadness. Feathered tail. The feathered tail below is also in 3 parts. It represents the opposite of the wings, namely bad thoughts, bad words, and bad deeds. It indicates the fact that we should always drop bad choices down and avoid them. 2 hanging curly threads. These 2 threads signify spantamanio, or good mind, and angramanio, or evil and angry mind. These may occur in human mind anytime, and every Zoroastrian is responsible for embracing spantamanio and discarding angramanio to think of the good.
How are heaven and hell depicted in Mazdyasna?
In the Gathas, heaven and hell have no material or local state. The Gathas read, "The souls of our ancestors merrily depart to the domain of song, that is the abode of pure mind. The virtuous people create heavenly atmosphere in this world, which is followed by the domain of song. Evidently, this domain is nothing but a mental state, and the reward of Ashavan, the virtuous, is eternal bliss or eternity. On the other hand, the souls of the wicked, while crossing the Chinavat bridge, is afflicted with darkness. This grand concept, that is only a spiritual perception, is deformed in Vandidad and other Pahlavi scriptures.
من ماندانا باستانی هستم. در خدمت استاد بهرام بهرامی هستیم. سوالی ازشون دارم. درود بر شما آقای استاد بهرام بهرامی. میخواستم ببینم در صورتی که شما میدونین من یک زرتشتی زاده هستم، سوالی از شما داشتم. شما زرتشتی
Are you a Zoroastrian?
This question needs a little bit of explanation. If you are inquiring about my parentage, the answer is no. My father was born into a Muslim family. However, he was not a Muslim, and he had a liberally oriented mind about the universe, God, and religion. That made us really lucky. I was 15 years old when I came to know about Zoroaster's teachings. A school teacher trying to teach us methods of research made us visit Tehran National Library. My research topic was Daqiqi Tusi, a poet contemporary to Ferdowsi, who had converted to Zoroastrianism. He is the first convert recorded in the history of post-Islamic era, who chose the good religion and openly talked about it. 4 virtues has Daqiqi chosen from all that you may call virtue or vice: lips ruby tinted, music of lyre, rosy wine, and the manner of Zartushtra. In fact, he had not done anything eccentric in a way. A person approaching an age of discernment can, if he or she wants, become a Zoroastrian. At no point in history of Iran was the choice of Zoroastrianism compulsory. Even today, parents are not supposed to make their children a Zoroastrian. When an individual reaches the age of wisdom or discernment based on wisdom, he wears sedre and ties the sacred girdle. Wearing sedre is an external manifestation of Zoroastrian identity, and I believe it is optional, but I recommend it strongly, especially to the new initiates. The presence of mubed or priest is not a must. An individual with a knowledge of the ritual and the ceremony is all one needs. Back to my story. After my contact with National Library, Daqiqi Tusi, and with the name of Zoroaster, my search through the works of Professor Ibrahim Pur Dawood brought me even closer to contact with depths of teachings of our wise prophet. I called myself a Zoroastrian there and then. But if your question is to find out if I am a Zoroastrian by belief, meaning that I have chosen to be one, yes, indeed I am. To be a believer of good religion is a matter of choice, not inheritance.
مفهوم مزد اهورا از نظر شما اگه بخوایم برای جوانان زرتشتی
Who is Mazda Ahura?
Most religions perceive God as a physical being, and strange enough, they claim that God is beyond physics, a metaphysical phenomenon. Here in Zoroastrianism, the prophet perceives Mazda Ahura, God, in his mind first. Zoroaster tells us that he perceived Mazda in his mind in the beginning. I recognize thee, O Mazda, in my thought, that thou art the first, also the last, that thou art Father of Wahumana. When I apprehend thee with my eyes, thou art the true word that no one has ever heard. And thou taughtst me words I had not heard. Thou pronounced, to write shalt thou go for teaching. What Zoroaster hears from Mazda is a novelty that nobody has uttered. In fact, what Zoroaster hears from Mazda is a novelty that nobody has uttered. In fact, what Mazda said, even after thousands of years, is new and fresh. Zoroaster believes that in order to achieve wisdom, one has to adhere to Asha, right, because wisdom, void of righteous doctrine, has no value whatsoever. An inventor of bomb to kill people is a wise and learned man, but with no Asha or righteousness.